Hello. It's August 24th. I'm going to be seeing the doctor in 3 hours. I've taken the bus up here from Damascus. I'm in Boston now. This is the basically family medical clinic that in Canton that I've been going to for the last 3 years. So I'm going to see if they can give me a blood workup and check out my wound, see what precautions I need to take on the 100-mile wilderness, and maybe if I should wait a little bit before I do that. I know I can help my cousin a bit with some landscaping issues, and help my aunt some. Or at least that's what I'm going to try to do. Nice hospitality. Happy to be here. Want to see if I can pay back a little bit, and it'll be. I initially when I initially planned to come up here and stop in Boston on the way to Maine, it was to have a nice visit with relatives and then get back on up to Maine and do that, and then I've got this abscess on my leg since then, and it became I really need to see the doctor. After I went to the emergency room, I really need to see the doctor and see what the future would hold to get my leg in a good place. So I have videotaped all but one of the dressings I changed. So anyway. It was a long drive. I actually hadn't taken my daily meds, anti-inflammatory diclofenac, and so my tailbone was hurting and my neck was hurting, and I didn't know what was going on. And of course, last night after I got off the bus and was taking the train from Boston down here to Canton, I went, my stomach is a little bit acidy, and I went, wait a minute, I haven't taken, my Protonics for the last 2 days either. So, and I realized I hadn't taken anything for 2 days. So the thing that usually shows up is, my hands and feet and neck start aching, and then the Protonics doesn't. If it was Celebrex, I could go several days after, going off before I started noticing the effect. But the Protonics. Pantoprazole, maybe a pantoprazole. Anyway, it's not as good, but it works. So we're going to see. So I've got my alcohol. I've got my my packing material. I've got my syringe, my gauze sponges, Band-Aids, my tape, my wooden-handled Q-tip that's going to poke the packing material in. So hopefully that'll all be good, and here we go. So let's see if we can somehow get that to. Oh, that looks. There we go. All right, so I've taken my shower. So, all right. Well, I knew that would remove some skin, not skin, but hair. All right, now take the wick, and you can see that it drains some, not nearly as much as it has in the past. All right, let's see. I guess we don't have great light. I like that that there's a lot of pink flesh in there. It doesn't look nearly as bad, although I guess it's not, what everybody wants to see, which is why I'm going to put a warning on this video, but it is a lot better than it started off. All right, now cleaning the area around it with some rubbing alcohol. I know it's not the best antibiotic or whatever, but you do what you do. I'm sure this is only going to last, I guess, 3 hours. So maybe I don't need to be perfect, but I do want to see if I can. My leg has swollen up a bit. I'm not really certain why that is. But alright. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Go with the gauze sponge. I didn't notice until just now that how much that what I just did left little bits of I guess toilet paper, since that was what I was using, little bits of toilet paper everywhere. I am feeling things down there. Of course, it's not hurting, but you know how things itch when they're healing? Well, it's itching. And all right. Okay. Now I've squeezed it. I've done a lot of. So now what I'm going to do is flush it with saline solution. And I had decided that it's just as well that I can't get all of the saline solution that I want. I know y'all don't see this, but every time I do that, my phone gets covered in salt water. Which is an interesting experience. But this is going to be the last of my saline solution, so we're going to use about half of one of these, and this is, so I guess I use about 125 milliliters every time I clean the wound. I'm feeling a little bit, but it's more of a itch than a pain. I'm actually trying to get underneath that flap of skin because that's everywhere else is pretty much an open pit. Let's see. All right. Trash. Alright, now we take out a gauze sponge and I dry it or clean it out in widening circle so it can so I don't contaminate the closer areas with the stuff that's happening in the further areas. One of my issues with the last time I did this is that it didn't want to stay. So I had to keep on using more and more tape. Actually, one of the nice things is that the other wounds that I had, or the other bites that I'd worried about getting infected, yeah, they're itchy because they're not bleeding. I've removed everything from them, and they're just itchy now. All right, now I need to put some packing in here. Pretend that this is somehow aseptic. All right, so tag this in. All right. So I'm poking it underneath that flap of skin first. And I'm feeling it. It's not horribly painful, but I'm not, it's not nerve dead like it was seeming to stay before. And the nice thing is there's not much room to pack it. It does seem to be a shallower hole than before. So much so that I have to worry about squishing it out of, and I've got to leave a little wick. So, all right, that's about as much as I can pack in there. It's anymore, it seems to want to, pushing more in, pushes stuff on the other side of it out. Okay. Okay, so fold that over, open up a Band-Aid, a great big Band-Aid. Again, we're calling this pretend it's aseptic. Alright, so okay, let's try that again. Alright, I guess we'll have to use another Band-Aid since that one has decided it wants to fold over on itself. Okay. Ta-da. Ta-da. And yes, I'm making my own sound effects over here. Congratulatory ta-da. All Alright, so let's see if we can. Alright, hopefully with a dry wound it stays. And again, I've got the gauze pad to wick things out, but it looks like I like all the pink. I like no pus. I'm not as happy with the, I don't know if you can tell the difference in the thickness of the legs, but my right leg is significantly thicker than my left leg, even though 3 weeks ago they had gotten to be virtually identical. But I do think I have some swelling over on that leg, so we're gonna see what happens. So anyway, in 3 hours we're gonna be talking to the doctor. All right, bye. See if touchscreens can actually recognize my thumb. Apparently not. Hello. It's amazing how I can't actually turn. I'm having so much fun. Alright. I wonder if it's... it was obviously the